y'all, this is Marty K. Hope y'all are well. I got a story that I want to share with you. It's from the site commondreams.org, and it's showing you how white supremacy plays both sides, which is why, when you read about these rich people doing charitable things, it's never for the benefit of the charity or the target things that they claim to be helping. While they may have a passion for whatever it is, I honestly don't necessarily believe that. I believe these people pick charities and pick things where they can get sympathy or respect from the general public. It's just good PR. But behind the scenes, there's a rationale for everything that rich people do. They're calculated, very calculated. And we live in a system and a society that allows them to get away with doing this type of stuff. So I'm going to show you how rich people do. And so when you hear about a rich person donating something or doing something for somebody, you better believe there is a story behind it, and you got to worry about the thing that you don't know, because they, want you to know about publicly about the things that they are doing that are good, but they don't want to show you their other hand, which is where all the bad stuff is. So this says Jeff Bezos donates $120 million to fight homelessness, but then invest $500 million to make it worse. So it says the last thing Americans need is a Bezos-backed investment company further consolidating single-family homes and putting home ownership out of reach for more and more people. Housing should be a right and not a speculative commodity. Among the 3 richest people on the planet, mega billionaire Amazon founder Jeff Bezos received some praise last week for announcing approximately $120 million in donations to a number of groups fighting the scourge of homelessness in the United States. It's a privilege to support it's a privilege to support those orgs in their aspiring mission to help families regain stability, Bezos wrote in an Instagram post touting the multiple grants to 38 individual nonprofits in 22 states. But hold your applause. Just days after word of the charitable gifts, a minuscule drop in the bucket compared to the estimated 170 billion fortune he possesses, a Bezos-controlled company called Arrived dropped $500 million of new investment in single-family homes with a venture fund that critics warn will make the nation's housing crisis even worse. So it says, according to GV Wire, since its inception in 2021, and notice how these things just started happening at the same time, 2020, 2021, 2019, everybody was doing stuff. We were all busy outside, living our best life, having a good time, not really thinking about the future, distracted by, Donald Trump drama, Democratic Party, Republican Party drama, politics, race issues, police killing, national, international marches on behalf of how Black people were being treated, opposed to, police brutality. And these rich people out here making moves, planning on how they are going to make sure we own nothing and we be happy. So check this out. Arrived has attracted nearly 500,000 customers, operating as a fractional real estate investing platform. The company's model is similar to buying a slice of the American pie, allowing investors to purchase shares of single-family rentals for as little as $100. Now, I don't know if you remember me doing the video. I was telling you about how my son was telling me they are throwing up all these apartment complexes in subdivisions where it's like mixed use housing, where they will have like apartment buildings that can house 500, 1,000 families, maybe more, because there may be, 4 or 5 high rises, and then also homes in the midst, and they're all rentals. They will not be able to be purchased. And so it will make people less likely to be able to buy a home. Home rental will be the norm, and purchasing will be out of reach because, as you can see, wages are stagnant. They're not going to go up. In fact, they're going to go down because soon a lot of people are going to lose their jobs once the economy collapses with the coming of AI and robots and new ways of doing things, rationing and creating scarcity. These people are setting us up for what Klaus Schwab said, we will own nothing and we will be happy. So this is what you are seeing setting up, and you can see these children of the corn, fallen angels, doing what they do best, colonizing, capitalizing off of folks' suffering and poverty, which they helped to make possible. And then they act like they're doing you a good job by donating to homelessness and building homes so that people won't be homeless. But there'll also be properties that will be subsidized by the government, most likely, because those rentals will probably be available to people who get some type of government assistance, HUD housing, Section 8, whatever. So it's all, it's just smoke and mirrors. The fund itself, called the Single Family Residential Fund, allows investors to purchase portions of various homes and later trade, hold, or redeem their chips on a rolling basis like players at a casino. While many Americans, especially younger people and working class families, have been steadily priced out of home ownership by soaring costs and, more recently, higher interest rates, Arrived preys on that reality by selling the idea that owning a piece of a home as an investment is an American dream, akin to owning the home one lives in. So do you see how white supremacy just keeps reinventing itself? So now that they're going to redone the dream, which was always a nightmare, but we are so stupid and programmed in this country, we don't even really pay attention to um, just the basic common sense thing. Like, who wants to be in debt for all those years? Like, no other country on earth is like this. Just white society. Everybody else is, you got to pay as you go. You don't get to take out a loan. And I guess you could, but they just don't have the predatory nature or usury that our system has. Like, it is set up on just preying on people, and most people were just so greedy. Yeah, I can invest this and make a lot of money and get out. Like, it's all a scam. It's like we're not even supposed to, prey on each other like this. And that is, one of the things that, people who invest, they don't always think along those lines, but we're not supposed to do this to each other. Like, this, in my opinion, is so ungodly, so cruel. And it's basically participating in the enslavement of your brothers and sisters, or, the people that the Most High created for us to, take care of. We're supposed to treat each other a certain way, especially if you're true Israel. So we need to be aware of these types of predatory scams because they're going to be targeting our people. Y'all know that. And so we need to just understand what's happening so that you don't want to get caught up in it too, so that you don't invest in it, because you could be investing in the future disadvantages of your own people. Speculative investors, however, are likely not among those struggling to make ends meet, but this kind of investment behavior warns critics, is what is certain to drive home prices even higher. So this is how you know people are not going to be able to afford housing. So it says Representative Ro Khanna from California, Democrat, has co-authored legislation to halt the rent gouging and inflated home prices that result from such investment schemes, ripped Bezos's latest move. The last thing Americans need is a Bezos-backed investment company further consolidating single-family homes and putting home ownership out of reach for more and more people, Connor tweeted on Friday. Housing should be a right, not a speculative commodity. As the author writing under the name Homeless Romantic on Medium noted last week, a primary concern raised by critics is the monopolization of housing that Arrived is pushing. And it's not just Arrived, it's BlackRock, it is Berkshire Hathaway. It's a lot of these companies doing this. You can look around and you can see all these homes sitting empty all over the country, especially older homes being snatched up. And those homes are sitting on acres of land. These folks are buying up property. So if you are not trying to buy you something now, it is almost going to be out of reach in a couple of years if you're trying to do country living. So my recommendation is if you can get out of what you're in and get to the country where you have some land, and while the getting is good, you should do so. By acquiring a large number of single-family homes, reads the Post, Bezos and other investors could consolidate control over the housing supply, giving them significant influence over rental prices and market dynamics. And y'all know y'all going to get screwed. We all going to be screwed out here. Our children and grandchildren are going to be screwed, and the great-grandchildren. Everybody going to be screwed. So this is how you're going to have people living multi-generations in one home, because you're not going to be able to buy anything. They won't be able to rent anything. And people just going to be poor. We're going to be perpetually impoverished. And that is the goal, so that they can control every aspect of our lives. This could make it more difficult for ordinary individuals and families to find affordable housing, particularly in high demand areas, which is going to be the cities, because that's where they want all the jobs to be. All the good, attractive stuff will be in those areas. It wasn't lost on many that there was a disconnect between his relatively paltry gifts to the organizations valiantly standing on the front lines to fight homelessness with one hand, while simultaneously using the massive fortune to exacerbate the crisis with a for-profit venture on the other. What else could he do? People had ideas. And so they have stuff on Twitter that I'm not going to read. So it says, according to the Department of Housing and Urban Development, which is HUD, it would cost a mere $20 billion annually to end homelessness in the United States. In response to the latest revelations about his charitable giving, a few people said a person worth nearly $200 billion like Bezos could literally end homelessness by himself if he wanted to. And that's the takeaway, is that these people have money to fix problems. They don't want to fix problems. They want to make money. And they want to do as little as they can to give the appearance that they're doing something, while on the other, in the hidden hand, they are actually helping the crisis, become bigger than it already is. So if he's worth $200 billion and it will take $20 billion annually to end homelessness, he would make that $20 billion back in 1 year, because if people saw, hey, he's in homelessness, he's buying houses, they're doing all these different programs, getting people off the streets, putting people in homes, getting them cleaned up, whatever the issues are, challenges are, fixing that, people would patronize his businesses more. He'd make his money back. Everything would be well. People would be working. People would be housed. There wouldn't be homeless people on the streets. Probably have some mental institutions built so people who are in need of mental health services, they would be housed and would not be on the streets. And so it's a win-win for everybody and a win-win for the country. But nope, they created all these problems, and now they, society is crumbling so that they can institute the solutions that they've been wanting to institute for a long time. So I just wanted to share this article with you to just demonstrate once again how white supremacy plays both sides and why you should not give praise to any rich person. Don't care what color they are. They make their money. Nobody rich gets rich. They're not self-made. They are thieves. They steal from people. They steal wages. They cheat people out of money. They mistreat their employees. They bet against their fellow man, their losses and their poverty and whatever disadvantages they have so that they can win. There's nothing good or right about this system. And so, again, this is why we need to come out of it. You cannot win at it. You can only contribute to its delinquency. And that's what we have been doing for a very long time. So, with that said, look at this particular story. And then you can go through anything where you see rich people donating to charity, whether they're giving out turkeys or whatever they say they do. They're creating a school. How do they benefit? At the end of the day, you got to ask, how are they benefiting and what are they doing with their other hand? Because they're only showing you the hand that they want you to see, and that's for PR. What are they doing with the other hand? That's what you always need to be concerned about, because you best believe it's going to be something dirty and low down and counter productive to humanity. So please like this video, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell notifications and the one for all so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. Also, make sure if you have been subscribed for some time, make sure you're still subscribed, because YouTube has been unsubscribing people and not sharing notifications. Follow me on Odyssey and Rumble. In the event that this channel goes down, I will be able to communicate with you and create content on Rumble, and everything that is on YouTube in the event that this channel goes down is on Odyssey. So if you follow me on those two channels, you'll still be able to get content from me until the internet is such that you got to have digital things to use it. I'll be here. Also follow me on Facebook and on Instagram in the event that I need to get in touch with you, because I am blocked from using my channel, or if I'm booted, I will be notifying you on those platforms. So if you follow me there, I can get in touch with you. I don't send out anything on those platforms because I just don't have the mental bandwidth to keep hopping back and forth on all these social media sites. Very taxing. And for me, most days counterproductive. So I try to only use my resources for good and not evil. So I don't like to worry you or bombard you with stuff. So if you see anything from me on there, it's, for a specific reason. Lastly, if you'd like to support the channel, please find the links in the description. There are ways for you to donate coffee, contribute on Venmo, and I think one other platform. We don't sponsor anything. We don't sell anything. This is a labor of love, and there is no we. It's just me. So I bring you these stories. I bring you the insight that the Creator gives to me so that I can warn you as a watchman on the wall to tell you about what's coming. Because I want you all to come out of this system, and I don't want anybody to perish in it. I don't want anybody to get caught up in it. I know there will be bunches of people who will, because they refuse to seek knowledge and wisdom, but I don't want anybody who follows me to be those people. So We can't catch everything, but what we can catch, we can discuss here. Leave your feedback in the comment section if you have seen any of these developments going up in your area, or if you have some inside information about this plan to develop all these mixed housing communities in your localities. Because when they develop these things, they're going to do it locally. They're not going to just be, oh, we're going to put something in one place. These things are going to be happening in cities all over the country. And so you got to pay attention to what's happening, which means you got to be going to those city council, county council meetings, municipal meetings, zoning meetings. You got to stay on top of that stuff, especially zoning. Got to stay on top of zoning meetings, because that is where stuff happens, and people often sleep on those meetings. But those are the meetings where they send their little attorneys to come and present plans, and the next thing you know, you got this stuff in your community and you don't know where it came from. And it comes because they have these meetings that people don't attend, and by the time people find out about what's coming, it's too late. So make sure you pay attention to what's going on in your community, because one, it tells you, where your community is in the big scheme of things when it comes to the New World Order. And then it also tells you how close you are to having your community to change and your community being a part of the beast infrastructure. So if you don't want that, you gotta really be vocal, stand up, and try to warn as many people as you can. All right. Keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High, because we are in danger. Life is getting ready to change, and a lot of people don't know it. Consider yourselves one of the few chosen ones who get it, who know, and who can prepare. If you know better, you can do better. All right, this is Marley K, and I'm out.